Hey everyone, Codith here. This is my Necromancer Summoner build for Diablo 4. Now this build is like very beginner friendly. You can kick back and have your minions do the majority of the work. It's very accessible too. I got this down to like 2 button presses. You can even just play with your mouse if you wanted to be honest. I killed Uber Lilith with just my mouse, no abilities at all. But yeah, I'll show you guys that later. But anyway, let's dig into the gameplay of this first, just to kind of show you on these training dummies. So as you see, minions are going ham and not pressing anything. They're already vuln due to those corpse tendrils automatically popping out. You'll see it right here when they turn purple. Right there. And yeah. So you could just like AFK this pretty much. Just walk around, have your minions do the work. Just like move around with your mouse or controller or whatever. And that's totally fine in Torment 1. But if you want to go up higher, you will have to like press some abilities. So if you want to do like the 2-button press rotation, you're just going to do Soul Rift and Golem. So you pop your Soul Rift here. Get your 30 stacks for that increased damage. Then you're just going to cast your Golem. And that's the 2-button rotation. You can also like switch these over to your mouse if you just want to play like one-handed pretty much. But if you want to do like the full rotation, it's really not that much more. You just add Blight to the mix. So you cast your Soul Rift, wait for 30 stacks, and then hit him with the Blight, then hit him with the Golem. And that's pretty much the 3-button rotation. You're not really casting this. This is auto casting. Actually, both of these are auto casting. That's why you don't really need to cast them. This is just kind of like an escape, pretty much. It's a source of unstoppable, and you could become immune for 3 seconds. But let's go over the skills, the skill tree, the Paragon, the gear, everything. So starting with the skills, I've got Golem. This is our one of our summons. You only have one at a time. The active does like a lot of damage, which is really nice, and you also become unstoppable too, so you actually have 2 sources of unstoppable. Soul Rift, this is our ultimate. This gives us a barrier. It also gives us a nice 30x increased damage, and it's also like a source of vulnerable as well. Blood Mist, that's our unstoppable and immune. This is what it looks like. You can move around too. Raised Skeleton, this is what summons our warriors and our mages, but this is like auto casting for us, so you don't even have to worry about it. Blight, that's our core skill. This just gives us like increased damage. This isn't really too much of a damage dealer for us, but we're getting like the added benefit for our minions essentially. 20x increased damage while we cast that. Corpse Tendrils, don't really have to cast this either, but because we have it on auto cast, but pulls in enemies, stuns them for 3 seconds, does some damage, and also slows them and causes a vulnerable. So it's like another source of vuln right there, which is really nice. Let's go over the skill tree now. If I go over this too fast, you can always pause the video. And also, I do have a planner here. I'll leave a link in the description. But I have a leveling planner and then 250 paragons so far. But if you want to just like the leveling one, I have leveling path as well if you want to check that out. Play this as you go. But let's go over the skills. So 1 point into Reap and 1 into Enhance just to get the prerequisite to get over here. 3 points into Hewed Flesh. This gives us a chance to create corpses, which is really nice. We need the corpses for our summons and our corpse tendrils. 1 point into Blight, Enhanced to increase the radius, and then 1 rank into Supernatural. This is where that increased damage comes from. 20x. It's really nice. 1 point into Blood Mist, that's our unstoppable / immune. 3 ranks into Titan's Fall, this gives us increased damage to elites while we're fortified. 1 rank into Spiked Armor, just for that additional armor and just to have some thorns, why not. 3 points into Skeletal Warrior Mastery, this increases the damage and life of our Skeletal Warriors. 1 rank into Grim Harvest, so we can get 3 ranks into Fueled by Death. This gives us increased damage after consuming corpses. Then coming down over here, we've got 3 ranks into Death's Embrace. So close enemies take more damage from you and deal less damage to you. 3 ranks to Death's Approach. This is like a nice movement speed buff. 3 ranks to Precision Decay. It's a lucky hit chance increase. 3 ranks into Amplify Damage. This gives us increased damage to cursed enemies. 1 rank into Decrepify, Enhanced Decrepify, and Abhorrent Decrepify. Now you may be wondering why I'm taking this and I don't have it on my skill bar. You'll see. It comes with our gear, pretty much. Then we go down here, we got Corpse Tendrils, 1 rank into Corpse Tendrils, 1 into Enhanced, and then 1 into Plague. So this gives us the Source of Vuln. 1 into Reaper's Pursuit, so we can get 3 ranks into Gloom. This gives us increased damage with Blight for our Shadow Mages. We got 3 ranks into Necrotic Carapace. When a corpse is formed from your skills or your minions, you fortify for a percentage of your life. Then coming down over here, we got 3 ranks into Golem Mastery, increasing the damage and life of the Golem. 3 ranks into Finality. This gives us increased damage after casting an ultimate skill. 3 ranks into Hellbent Commander. This gives us another damage increase, so we have at least 7 minions. 3 ranks into Inspiring Leader. This gives us a nice boost to our crit chance, as well as for our minions. 3 ranks into Death's Defense for increased armor and res for our minions. 3 ranks into Soul Rift, so we can get that like cooldown down as low as possible, as you see here. 1 rank into Supreme Soul Rift, and then 1 rank into Prime. That gives us the Source of Vuln. This gives us that damage increase, that 30x. And then we got 1 point into Colin's Edict. This really buffs our minions. You get attack speed and more damage per minion, which is really nice. Okay, then let's go over the Paragon. I'll just go over this like really briefly. If you want to see like the full Paragon and take your time with it, and check out the build planner in the description. But we're starting off with Eliminator here to do that increased damage to elites. As you see here, I don't have any like really high glyphs. I got a 36 here, 26, 21, 16, 15. So none of these are legendaries. And yeah, if they were legendary, we could probably go a little bit higher in the Torment tiers. But going on to the next board, this is Cult Leader. And we're taking the Dead Razor glyph. Going over to the right, this is the Flesh Eater board, and we've got Exploit for increased damage to vulnerable enemies. Then coming over here, this is the Hulking Monstrosity board for our Golem, and this is Essence for the glyph. This is crit damage. Then lastly, board number 5, this is Frailty. This gives us increased damage for having like curses, and then also Amplify as well. Similar kind of thing with the curses. But let's go over the Book of the Dead now. So we got Skeletal Warriors, Skirmishers, just to have 1 additional Skeletal Warrior. There you go. Skeletal Mages, we're taking Shadow for that increased damage for each active Shadow Mage. And then Golem, we've got the Blood Golem. This one's pretty fun. Does like a lot of damage, and there's also like a heal there too. Mercenaries, let's see. Mercenaries, we've got right here. On this side, we're going Shield Charge. We got the extra armor here from our Here's Guard. Provoke, here's our damage reduction plus Taunt. And then increased damage to taunted enemies. And for our reinforcement, we've got Varyana, the Berserker. So this is just like an attack speed boost, pretty much. We have it set on our Raised Skeleton at the moment. Now let's go over the gear. So I don't have all of the affixes, the tempers, or like maxed out aspects for this, but I'll show you what I have currently. If you want to see like what I'm looking for and what I recommend for the build though, I go into more detail on this planner here. You can check the link in the description as well. So we got all the tempers and all the affixes you should be looking for, what to mash to work. It's all in there. But let's go over what we have currently and why I'm choosing what I'm choosing. So I've got Air of Perdition. This is a really nice helmet for that 60x increased damage multiplier. I socketed this with back in Ohm. So whenever we travel 60 meters, we'll invoke the Barbarian's Warcry, which increases our damage by 15%. So right here, you see it go off. There's the Warcry right there. For our, if you don't have this, you can go for like a legendary helmet. Probably do the Cursed Aura one. That'd be like a nice substitute. For the chest piece, we have Hardened Bones. This gives us damage reduction for you and your minions. For the gauntlets, we've got Great Feast. This gives us increased damage for our minions. It also drains our essence, but it's no biggie. For our pants, we've got Blood Moon Breaches. This is what's giving the curse on monsters for us currently. So your minions attacks have a chance to randomly inflict Decrepify or Iron Maiden. If you don't have these, you can always do that Cursed Aura as well and like move some stuff around. If you want to put your Cursed Aura on the pants and then maybe do like some kind of golem aspect on your helmet, that's totally fine too, but I don't have the cursed aura yet. It's kind of hard finding aspects right now, so I'm just working with Blood Moon Breaches. These have been working nicely for me. I can kind of sit back and have my minions inflict the curses rather than walking up to the monsters and having them get affected by the curses in my like presence, my aura. Moving on to the boots, we have Occult Dominion. This increases our number of skeletal warriors and mages by 2. For our weapon, I recommend a 2-handed scythe for that summoning damage implicit. You could also do a 2-handed sword as well for the crit damage. If you have like a nice sword, totally fine too. But we're using reanimation for the aspect. This gives us increased damage for our minions while they're alive, pretty much. I'm also using Sem and Moat. So when we cast Evade 2 times, we gain 1 shroud from the rogue's Dark Shroud ability. So it's right there, that little shadow thing circling me, as you see right there. Yeah, that gives us damage reduction, pretty much. There you go, got 2 of them. Yeah, a little bit better with different boots. I got attacks reduce evade's cooldown. I'd rather have like evade charges instead, but that's what we currently have, unfortunately. It still works though. And then the amulet here, we've got Grasping Veins. So this gives us increased crit chance and crit damage while the enemies are affected by the corpse tendrils. Sacrilegious Soul. This ring is very important to the AFK-ness of this build. So this auto-casts Raised Skeleton, Corpse Explosion, and Corpse Tendrils. So I only have Raised Skeleton and Corpse Tendrils on my hotbar right now, but you could add Corpse Explosion if you want. Maybe you'd like that instead of like one of these other abilities, like Blight or your Blood Mist. Maybe you could do that. Lastly, we have the ring here for Frenzied Dead. So each time one of your minions damages an enemy, they gain increased attack speed. I would like to have Ring of Mendeln. I have not found that yet, but Frenzied Dead works right now for me. Totally fine. So that's it for the gear. Let's go over some of the gameplay. I'll show you like some of the AFK stuff. We'll go into like Helltide. I'll kind of show you that. You can just like AFK there. I'll show you like a one-handed Lilith kill. And yeah, let's go. So here's a nice event in the Helltide. We can AFK this one like 100%. So Caravan under siege, survive the ambush, keep all survivors alive. So I'm just going to stand in the center and let my minions do the work. You can kick back, relax, grab a drink, go to the bathroom. You do have to dodge sometimes because like the Hellfire will fall down, but for the most part you can kick back and relax. But yeah, look how chill this is. I don't even have to cast anything. I'm just watching the minions work. Easy peasy. And then your pet like picks up all the loot and stuff. Like all the iron chunks, the cinders, the gold, the veiled crystals. Mostly like materials. You will have to pick up the equipment yourself though. Oh yeah, pretty AFK friendly in the Helltide here. Let's go over and show you guys a one-handed Lilith kill. Alright, so here we are at Uber Lilith. Let's try to do a one-handed Necromancer Summoner kill. I'm not going to press any buttons, just holding my mouse cursor, running around, right? So already done with the first phase. Here comes phase number 2. And because we have so much movement speed as a Necromancer, it's really helpful for this fight in phase 2. Helps us like dodge the fireballs, so. One-handed, here we go. Let's wait for her to spawn. Now you could probably do this in like higher torment tiers, but maybe not one-handed. It depends on your gear, really. Your gear and your Paragon. Like if you have like really high Paragon, maxed out legendary glyphs, like level 100 and whatnot, you could probably go pretty high. But we're just in Torment 1 right now, just to kind of like show you that you don't really need to press anything for this build in Torment 1. So, helpful strategy for this fight, make big circles. Run around the arena, alright? Because those fireballs will get you. You're mainly watching out for those fireballs. And like the platform too. So she's going to go to the upper left now. We're going to try to rush over there. We're going to zig. We're also going to zag. Don't forget that. Okay, now that platform's broken. We're going over here into the center. Let our minions finish her off. And boom, there you have it. One-handed Lilith kill. Done. No abilities, no potions, no evade. Easy does it. Well, yeah, that's pretty much the build in a nutshell. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, leave some down below. Reach out to me on Discord. I also stream on Twitch, if you guys want to check that out. Channel's the same name as YouTube. It's just Codeth on there. And yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe. Take care, everyone. Peace.